Hey, day 7 of Eagles training camp in the books. Today was more like the Devontae Smith show. CJ Gardner-Johnson doing CJ Gardner-Johnson things on Wesley. We're going to talk about it. You're watching Beast on Broad Street.
Yeah, reporting live from the underworld. Coming from a place that's never been unearthed. How much is your soul? Tell me what it's worth. Do you put your pride or money first?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? As you can see, I'm in my car, man. I'm on the road. I'm all over the place today. So this video is going to be a little shorter than I wanted it to be. But, yeah, there's still some stuff I want to talk about. Also, I'm trying to keep up with the Phils, man. The headache that is the Phillies currently. And currently, as this video is being filmed, they're up 1-0 on the Mariners. Hopefully, it stays that way. But, man, if they get swept by the Mariners, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. But story for another day. Right now, I want to talk about that wide receiver 3 situation we got going on, all right? So, Brandon Covey, this is interesting, right? So, Brandon Covey's been so much more involved in the offense as of the last couple last couple practices, excuse me. And that's like, that goes a lot. That goes a long way as far as, like, just the respect that we have for Covey, man, at least in my books, man. I love watching him work his way into the offense, because I just remember, like, when we had that big punt returner like situation, like we just did not have anyone to return punts, and it was like you just held your breath every time Britton Covey caught a punt, and you're just like, you're just like kind of waiting. It's like, dude, this dude's gonna get cleaned, his head's gonna get taken off. It's gonna be bad one of these times, and it was bad. I mean, as far as how hard he was getting hit, but honestly, he kind of filled in that spot pretty well, if you ask me. I mean, towards the end, especially last season, like towards the end, there would be a couple of times where he would break off a little bit of a nice punt return. So it's just nice to see him right now getting the respect to be like, to get more reps within the offense. Is he going to be that guy? We don't know, but hey, it's still nice to see, especially with Paris Campbell out today. Just seeing who's getting those reps. Hopefully Paris Campbell can come back soon, because it seems like he was just like the clear front runner for that position. But it also is seeming like we might be ending up using multiple receivers at that position just for situational purposes. Like Johnny Wilson's another guy, right? So he's really been showing up in the red zone. He's really been a main target in the red zone, aside from the obvious guys. So it would be interesting to see how they go about, like, if it is going to be a situational thing, like maybe between the 20s, maybe using Paris Campbell or a Britton Covey, and then come red zone time, we start seeing more Johnny Wilson. Like that would be interesting. I don't know how they would really make that work, but I mean, and how comfortable, like, just that's a lot of receivers, especially for a quarterback, and just the offense alone, just to like have that same chemistry with, if they're always being rotated around in the offense and every drive. So we'll see what happens there. But I just thought that was interesting. Then that that's been kind of circulating around. But yeah, man, Brandon Covey, if he can fill in that spot, and or just, if anything, like, if we could just get any type of work in the offense, that'll be interesting to see. I do think I think he'll be our punt returner again. I know, yeah, that was a thing with like Isaiah Rodgers. I wanted to see Anaya Smith be that guy, because I just like what he can do in space. I think he's one of the most agile, quicker dudes on the team. But we're also hearing not so good things about him in camp, especially when it comes to muffing punts. So last thing we want is that. So I honestly think it's going to be Brandon Covey as far as just returning punts this season. But, it could be Isaiah Rodgers too. Either way, I'm a little bit more comfortable than we were last season. That's for sure. So another thing I wanted to talk about, with obviously Paris Campbell, he did not practice today. Along with Paris Campbell, we have Mekhi Becton out. That right guard spot, so it's just interesting to see who they plug in, especially with the first team guys. Today, I know Brett Toth was getting a lot of reps. The project that is Brett Toth, right? So he was getting a lot of reps. We still got Hennessy, Kennard, a lot of these guys, man, they're getting way more reps than I bet they expected, just with Tyler Steen and Becton being out. Now Becton just, I believe it was just an illness. It's not like a body injury or anything like that. It's just interesting to see, like, because we didn't really usually we make offensive line more of a point of emphasis in the offseason, especially in the draft, whether it's the draft or free agency. And this season it was, obviously more focused on defense, defensive backs, linebackers. So it'll be interesting to see how we kind of plug and play guys, and who can stay healthy is going to be huge, and just how well they're all conditioned. Again, I'm still very confident with our O-line, but it just right now with like Steen and Becton, I was like, all right, well, some of these guys are someone's gonna have to get those first team reps. So whether it's Brett Toth or Hennessy or Kennard, whoever, I know I'm forgetting somebody. But the rotation that is the guard position right now is very intriguing to keep up with. Also, right, so this is something that was interesting. The Kenny Pickett has been struggling so much, evidently, where we're now talking about Tanner McKee potentially being the QB2. Well, I never saw that coming, man. Honestly, don't get me wrong. I was riding that Tanner McKee hype train during preseason, but at the same time, it's like I was not expecting Kenny Pickett to look this bad. I heard somewhere where they might try plugging Pickett and McKee in with the first team offense just to see how they function. But honestly, yeah, like it's just looking right now like Tanner McKee's he just looks more comfortable in the offense. He can actually move the ball, and which is just kind of wild to think, like, where Kenny Pickett is. I was kind of expecting him to, like, I didn't even think that would be a battle we talk about, but it's just, I just think it's crazy that Pickett's kind of taken that type of step back, especially after losing a starting job in Pittsburgh, coming here to be a backup. It's like, all right, bro, like, this is the time. Like, you better revive. You better revive yourself, self-revive or whatever. But yeah, man, Tanner McKee, if he can take that QB2 spot, good for him. But like that is kind of concerning for Kenny Pickett, where you can't move the ball at all. Like, we got weapons, especially on offense, man. Like, there's no reason, like, even with the second team offense, like, you can't. You got to be able to get that ball down the field. And he's holding the ball long. He's holding the ball in practice, which is kind of weird. Like, in training camp, why are you holding on the ball for so long? Because it's training camp. We're simulating a real game, so it's like, just get the ball out, man. It just hurts. It kind of slows practice down, and it also it's not really a legitimate rep. Like, so that's kind of alarming. Where like, why is he feeling the need where he has to, like, get the ball? Is he just worried about turnovers? I don't know. That's something that, he might be just in his own head. It's a mental thing. So hopefully he can get over that hump. I'd like to see Kenny Pickett kind of be the quarterback too, just because he has experience as a starting quarterback. But again, look, man, if McKee can take that spot, man, good for him. I'm happy for him. If he can somehow leap Pickett in the depth chart, that'd be cool. That would be cool to see. But I feel like we won't really get that actual feel for that until preseason starts. Let's move on to the defense real quick, because the Bryce Huff thing, I feel like can get blown out of proportion a little bit. Just like the worry for Bryce Huff. Like, don't get me wrong, like we're always going to be concerned, especially when a new guy comes in who kind of has to fill in some big shoes, like a Hassan Reddick size pair of shoes. Like, yeah, it's like, you're going to be a little worried about it. I get that. I'm with you on that. If you're one of those individuals who are just super concerned about Bryce Huff. All I got to say, man, is like, you got to understand, Well, he has shown flashes. Like, he's shown flashes. In that Vic Fangio press conference where he was like, I feel like that kind of got misconstrued where he was saying he might not be ready for, when he said that, I feel like people thought Vic Fangio meant he's not ready to be a starter on the team, where I kind of took that, I take that more as like he might not be ready to play as many snaps. Might not be ready to be on the field as much. Maybe that just might be a matter of conditioning. Maybe that just might be a matter of learning the scheme, and like how long it might take to learn that scheme, because he's not a guy who's going to be used to dropping back in pass coverage or this Fangio scheme for DNs. Like, that's something you got to get used to. So I'm patient with Bryce Huff right now. I think we all should be a little bit more patient with Bryce Huff right now, as far as those who are concerned. Also, please take into account that, like, bro's going up against Lane Johnson like every practice, and Mailata, like, and from like what we're hearing, like he's not got through Lane Johnson whatsoever. Which you got to think, like, is that Bryce Huff just not being that type of guy, or is Lane Johnson that guy? Like, who? Let's be real here. Lane Johnson's that guy. He's not someone who's just gonna. He went how long? I can't even remember how long Lane Johnson went without even allowing a sack, and this is in actual games, let alone a training camp, bro. Like, be patient with Bryce Huff. All right, he has shown flashes. It's just we don't have to worry so much about it. And he's gone around Mailata a couple times in camp, and it is where it is, man. We got great tackles. Like, any D end is going to struggle. Like, we haven't heard anything, man. It's not like we've heard like Josh Sweat having this like great camp. We haven't heard just about any defensive end. Like, it's the interior D linemen who are having their way pretty much. I just wouldn't put too much stock into like not hearing much of Bryce Huff throughout camp. It's like, I get it. I think it's more just we're excited to see Bryce Huff, and we haven't heard much, so it creates a cause for concern. But like, I don't think this is like just be patient. Like, he's going against some of the best tackles in football every camp. So let's see what happens, right? Let's see what happens when we get into some of these joint practices, preseason games. Like, something tells me we're gonna hear about these DNs a lot more. So that's just kind of where I'm at with the whole Bryce Huff thing. Linebackers, right? So this is the hot topic of camp. Just who's going to be our two off-ball linebackers, even though it's kind of looking more like it's going to be Devin White and Zach Bond. Like, again, we hear Nick Sirianni in that press conference today. Like, he's still, again, more Zach Bond praise. Dude getting praised I can't wait to see. Like, they're making me feel like Zach Bond is gonna be this like elite level linebacker. Like, the way they praise Zach Bond in camp, and whether or not Zach Bond's just that good, or maybe they're just trying to like take some pressure off of like guys who like Nakobe Dean, like, who might be struggling in camp, who are struggling in camp. Let's be real, but like, kind of like taking that like edge where like people aren't just like kind of throwing it all on like, wow, our linebackers are so bad, we have Zach Bond starting, and more like Zach Bond is actually pretty good. I feel like maybe they might be kind of hyping up the Zach Bond thing just so we're not so fearful of the linebacker situation. And I think it's a little bit of both, truth be told. I think Zach Bond is winning. I think he is doing a good job. He's having a great camp, and he is gonna win that battle. And he's kind of like, he's out in front. But I also think it's a little bit of like picking up slack for the whole Nakobe Dean thing, which is just crazy unfortunate, man. And again, like, I'm out on Dean. I think he looks just awful right now, but it doesn't mean I'm not rooting for the guy. Like, I really hope he can kind of overcome just whatever is going on, man. He's just getting burnt in pass coverage just every practice. So if Zach Bond is a guy who can actually keep up with some of these running backs out of the backfield, or whether it's a receiver coming across the middle and not overplaying or underplaying a certain route, like I think that's good to hear as far as Zach Bond goes. Devin White, another guy. He hasn't been getting Zach Bond level praise, but I think Devin White's going to be a guy I think he's our best option alongside Bond right now. We've heard good things about Trotter Jr., which is nice, but like, I'm not coming in like Jeremiah Trotter is going to win the starting job. I think Jeremiah Trotter is showing good promise for a young guy who's a little bit more of a project, and we're going to have to give him a year or two before he's really him. But and anything like that, if he's excelling before then, like that's just icing on the cake. So that's kind of where I'm at as of right now. Let's see. We'll see what happens. We're gonna be we got 4 days till our preseason game against Baltimore. So let's hope we can hit the ground running this season, especially in the preseason. Let's hope everyone can stay healthy, please, man. Hope everyone can stay healthy. That injury bug doesn't hit us. And again, man, nothing to be concerned about. I know, I get it. Like it's the type of team where we're looking so good going into this season, where it's like we kind of have to nitpick at certain players and in position battles where. Because that's what we got right now, man. We got everything's going well, though. Everything's going well. Hurts looks great. AJ looks great. Devontae looks great. Goddard just had 3 touchdowns in a public practice. They look good, man. The rookies they're showing promise. I mean, I'd like to see more Avonai Smith, but the rookies are showing promise. And we'll see who the odd man out is when it comes to the receiver position. But I don't know, man. Embrace it, man. It's gonna be it might be a fun, exciting preseason to watch. And you gotta be patient right now, which is hard because when the Phillies are playing this bad and you just want football to come back, it's kind of hard to be patient. But hey, I love you guys. Keep watching these videos. Make sure you smash that like button, get your boys' numbers up a little bit. Subscribe, comment, whatever. I appreciate anyone who's watching these videos right now, man. We're going to keep building. We're going to keep being consistent. And I'm going to try and get another video out tomorrow. Again, I'm still working on my studio, so hopefully we can get back in there soon. But other than that, man, peace out. Wesley.